based on the recent trending incidents involving the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, that resulted to the death of one of the officials, Halisu Sahabi, who was killed in a raid in Awka, Anambra State by Dr. Ikechukwu. Up till today, I stand to be corrected that the EFCC as an organization has not told its own side of the story. Up to today, we've not read any press release, from the EFCC. And that is a very big shame. A very big shame up to today. You see, that's a lesson to all of you who are part of that zoo. I told you, whoever serves Nigeria will always go back in shame. In fact, based on the stories we've been hearing, how the operation was carried out by the EFCC officials, it calls to questioning the EFCC's professional, standing or their operational procedures or modus operandi. You see, I said that the manner in which those EFCC officials carried out that raid, in their own way, how they do things, is what you find abuse of power, of privilege, of everything in other sister forces or security organizations. It's only in Nigeria you see policemen, 3, 4, or 5, or even 2, can go to our highways and then mount illegal checkpoints or roadblocks, extorting citizens and motorists, molesting citizens, do whatever they like, to citizens, and they go scot-free. Nothing will happen to them. The same thing is what the army does. You see them on highways, extorting motorists, extorting citizens, brutalizing them, do whatever they like. That's what is obtainable everywhere in Nigeria. What is obtainable on our landways also is the same thing that is replicated on our waterways, where the Navy, the police over there too, are doing their own with ships, with canoes, and whatsoever on our waterways. There is no different. That's what we find all over Nigeria, all over our, geographical, space as, a contraption. You see, what really prompted me to react at this moment is the way a lot of people are trying to tribally colorize the issue of Dr. Ike and this EFCC official, wanting it to look as if it was an intentional act carried out by Dr. Ike because Halisu Sahabi happens to be a Fulani or a Hausa. It is a very big shame. A very big shame. That tells you the deep-seated and rooted hatred in the minds of Nigerians towards the Igbo people. If you don't want the Igbo people, they say they want to go. Why is it taking you time to let them go? I don't know what is wrong with all of you. What happened to Dr. Ikechukwu could have happened to anybody in Nigeria. It could be you tomorrow. It could be anybody in Nigeria. And I'm sure it had happened to anybody, to some other people somewhere. It has happened before. You are in your house, 3 a.m. in the midnight. Somebody came to raid your house. What would come to your mind? What would you think of? Anyway, let me just look at it legally. In law, legally, in law, this issue that happened between Dr. Ikechukwu and Sahabi falls under unpremeditated killing. I repeat, it falls under unpremeditated killing. Unpremeditated killing, by definition, is the killing or is the murder crime where there is no planning ahead before the matter happened. There is no planning ahead. I repeat, a situation where there is no planning in advance. You see, and there are 3 types of this situation under unpremeditated killing. One is what we call the killing by impulse. Killing by impulse is, for example, let's say 2 people are fighting and one of the two fighters happened to hit the other very hard with a very powerful blow, which resulted to the death of the other person. That fellow's death came about through impulsive action. So killing by impulse is unpremeditated killing. Know that. It's number one. The number two is accidental killing. Going by the word accidental killing, that means, killing unexpectedly. You see, you never planned for it. Something that happened unexpectedly. You never had the intention of doing it. That's what we call accidental killing. Let's say in a situation whereby maybe, let's say in the armed forces or wherever, maybe where people are practicing a kind of, let's say, target practice, where you have to shoot at something, maybe along the line you missed your target and your bullet hit another person. That's what we call accidental killing. You never planned it, understand? In the military, they call it I think, a friendly fire or something like that. That's what we call accidental killing. Then the third one, which I will now arrogate that of Dr. Ike Chukwu here, is what we call what? Killing in self-defense. Killing in self-defense, understand, is a situation whereby maybe one is assaulted, and in the process of defending oneself, understand, from his attacker or his an assaulter, the person is able to kill his attacker. That's what we call what? Killing in self-defense. Now let us look at what transpired between Dr. Ike and these Sahabis, that died within that scenario. You see, one can say legally that Dr. Ike's privacy residence was assaulted. I repeat, Dr. Ike's privacy was assaulted without any legal formal authorization. It's as simple as that. His residence, his privacy was assaulted without any formal legal authorization whatsoever. And if it were you in that circumstances, how would you react? You would sit down and some people would come to your house 3 a.m. in the midnight. Understand? What would come to your mind as a rational human being? You mean your life is not worth it? Are you trying to tell me that you don't deserve to live too? Are you trying to tell me that the God that created your attacker is not the one who created you as a person? That means you must be a foolish person. That is why killing in self-defense, which Dr. Ike's own fall under, is not a crime anywhere on the surface of the earth. There is no law. Bring it out. Let us debate it anywhere. Killing in self-defense is never a crime anywhere. The same thing we are doing in our soil. When you bring the so-called terrorists, you call the army to come and kill us. We also pick up arms to defend ourselves. Even if Dr. Ike had used a stone to stone Sahabi to death, maybe the Nigerian government would have asked him to provide a license for that stone. Maybe if he had used a knife, a machete, they would have asked him to provide a license for that machete. Maybe if he had used a stick, they would have asked him to provide a license for that stick before he could defend himself. Can you just imagine that kind of nonsense? You see, some of you are trying to tribally colorize this issue, to generalize it with tribal sentiments and whatsoever. We are telling you that as long as this matter stands, you see, we are going to defend what is right. We are going to argue, debate on the basis of rationality, on the basis of what is, appealing to the conscience of any discernible or rational mind anywhere. That's the fact about it. You see, I do not know why everything in Nigeria, you try to paint it the other way around. Particularly a lot of some Yorubas who are trying to look at it that way. And a lot of some kind of, Hausa or whatever, or Fulanese. I'm not really talking about the Hausas here, who want to make it look as if maybe it's a tribal something. What we have done in such a scenario, you see, I want to let all of you know something today. If you cannot be truthful to yourself, at least refrain from half-truth. Refrain from incitement. Refrain from exaggeration and refrain from understatement. It is very important. Being truthful to yourself conscientiously will reduce in no small way the disharmony and misunderstanding in our world and society. Give on ourselves brain. Unayaram